morning. This is Puede, or Yes We Can. And today's presentation will be on the challenges of KinderCare construction in Honduras. I am John Trucka, this is Craig Engler, and we are current members of the Honduras project team with the Michigan Tech chapter of Engineers Without Borders. Before discussing the project's history and the progress of the project, we like to establish our goals of this particular project. The first is to develop a relationship with the community. It is important to engage the community to participate in this project so that they may embrace it as their own. And then we can move on to designing and constructing the actual KinderCare Center. After completion of this construction, we are looking to maintain a relationship with the community so that we may assess the success of our project. So, the project is located in El Porvenir, Honduras, which is in north-central Honduras, along the Caribbean Sea coast. The central photo is an overall view of the El Porvenir community. If you notice the fields, this area are known for the pineapple production, and to the bottom right photo is a project site. And now Craig will discuss the progress of our project since it began.
The first trip that this project has made was 4 students and 1 faculty advisor. And they traveled in 2007 to meet with the NGO at the current time down in the community of El Porvenir. The NGO took the group around to show them some different projects that the NGO was kind of working on at the time, different programs. At the end of the trip, they ended in El Porvenir with an up-and-coming KinderCare program. As you can see in the bottom photo, the structure that would house the KinderCare was not yet complete, and the group saw this as a good opportunity to get involved, and the idea of the KinderCare became the project for the Honduras group. So between 2007 and the next trip in 2009, communications with the NGO started to fade, and because of this lack of communication, the progress within the project really started to slow down. What the team needed to do was really not defined. We didn't know what the community really wanted, what was needed. And so a second trip in 2009 was planned, and 5 students and 1 faculty advisor traveled. You see in the top picture, we met with Charles Kirkham, which was the community contact for the NGO. Upon talking with him, we found out that the previous NGO had actually dropped the KinderCare program, and Charles was kind of taking over the program and starting a new NGO. So we stayed on with him. We were also able to see the newly completed KinderCare. You can see the bottom photo. It was in operation. They were holding classes nearly every day, with teachers being volunteers within the community or volunteers coming from other countries. And we were also able to tell that the needs of the community were changing. This building was far too small for the number of children that could be serviced by this program. So our overall project goals really changed after this trip. After 2009 trip, we really had a lot of momentum. We really knew what we needed to do. We needed to build a larger KinderCare structure next to the existing structure. We were able to get designs drawn up with the help of faculty here at Michigan Tech. Our designs were needing international and U.S. building codes. So our next step was really to discuss and find out about materials that this building would be constructed of. So we decided to do another trip this last May and went down, and as you can see, we were working with some concrete from the community. We made some cylinders, brought them back, broke them to find the crushing strength of the concrete they used. One good thing was we were able to make some more contacts within the community. We met with a Canadian contractor who was working in the community. He'd been there for quite a few years and was doing some construction project at the time. He really gave us some information about how the labor really works within the community and exactly how concrete is really used, and basically the knowledge of what the labor is. We were also able to meet with a retired engineer who was from the United States that was living in the community, and we really got a good feel of how we could construct this project that we really didn't get from our NGO or in the past trips. One other good thing, we had our designs with us, so we were able to go to the site and really measure it out and figure out exactly how it would fit into the site. So we did that, and we realized that our design was just a little too large for the actual site. There have been some updates to the site, and they've been adding things. So we decided that it was in the best interest of the program and the community that we would need to shrink the building down to better serve the program. So as some challenges that we faced was, the big one was that the NGO had dissolved or gave up on this program, and we didn't know about it. So we vowed that we would keep constant contact with our NGO from now on, and would never let anything of this magnitude ever sneak up on us like that again. The structural design always kept changing. We keep changing sizes, change the way that we need to construct this building to serve these children in the community. Also, one of our biggest problems is getting the community involved in this project. As you can see in this bottom right picture, it's just a small sample of the people that this project would affect, or that it does affect, because the current school is servicing them as we speak. The children, their parents are either orphans or they have single parents, and as John said, they're working in the pineapple fields most of the day, 14 hours, pretty much whenever there's sunlight, they're working as much as they can. So they're left in the care of single moms if they stay there, or elderly grandmothers that they basically live in central locations, and there's different groups of these community grandmothers around the town of Houghton here. So this group really does not have any money, and we can't really get labor out of children and elderly women. So trying to get the community involved in this project is fairly difficult. The program does require that these single mothers or the elderly do come to the school and help teach and help out the volunteers, so that's really good. And this group is kind of looked away upon by the rest of the community because of their condition. And so just getting the community involved has been very difficult for us.
Despite these obstacles, we still continue to press forward with this project. We have several things going for us. The first is that we are working closely with our professional mentors, which are in fact experienced structural engineers, and they're helping us create a reliable KinderCare design. With this new knowledge base and support, we are planning to implement this project in May 2012 if everything goes smoothly. In addition to this, we have a pretty positive outlook as a team. We are still maintaining momentum due to this new support from our mentors. We are determined as a team to see this project through, and starting this semester, we gained a good number of new members who are willing to work with us to make this project. So some of the design components we are considering for our KinderCare building is a smaller building to better fit the needs of the community after this assessment trip. We are looking at using rafters for our roof support instead of trusses, which was in our original design, because rafters are more feasible due to their ease of construction design. And then we are looking to use a wood frame instead of a concrete frame. Since a concrete frame being so rigid, it is impractical in an area where it is seismically active as Honduras.
And to clear it up, the smaller building, it's going to be larger than the existing building, but just smaller than what our original design is.
With all that being said, we invite you to attend our afternoon workshop, Breaking Barriers to Building Communications, at the times indicated in Building 204. These sessions will be hands-on, and we will be looking at simulating the communication barriers that we experienced throughout this project. And overall, we also look at overcoming these issues because, yes, we can. Thank you.